Anxiety is your brain trying to alert you from possible danger. It results from either past experiences or a natural instinct when faced with stressful situations or uncertainty. This is what anxiety is for. However, most people will fall into a vicious cycle of anxiety to a point where it takes over their lives and begins to be so strong that the emotional weight of it impacts their everyday life in negative ways. Besides the mental blockage, anxiety can even have severe impacts on your health. So how do you handle it? Look at it this way: if your mind is trying to warn you, then there is an underlying circumstance that causes you to feel the way you do. What most people do, and what sometimes leads to panic attacks, is dwelling over the feeling rather than the source of it, which ultimately creates snowball effects and grows anxiety and stress to uncontrollable levels. Here is the trick. If you're an anxious person, you already know how it feels and can pinpoint when you're feeling anxiety. The right thing to do in such situations is to simply get away from people so you can focus on your thoughts and control your emotions. Take a little break and go somewhere isolated. If you can't do it, it's okay. You can still simply close your eyes and ignore everything around you. Now that you have somewhat eliminated stressful and possibly distracting elements, it's time for you to try to control your breath and slow it down. Do this even if you don't feel like you're losing control of your breathing. The aim is to regain control over the body so that controlling your thoughts becomes easier. Once done, focus on the reason you're feeling the way you are. Stop thinking about the stress and start pointing out elements of the situation that have led you to that feeling. Why am I uncomfortable? What is really stressing me out? You'll soon notice that simply pointing out those things will relieve you from a huge weight. Now, can you solve the said parameters? Are you in control of such things? Do they simply need time? If power and control are not in your hands, then you'll have to simply realize that you can only wait and see how the situation develops before acting on it. What if you can't point out what's stressing you out? Then maybe you are simply overthinking it. If no apparent reason can be drawn, then there is probably nothing worth worrying about. How do you force yourself back into feeling strong and at ease? With all the previous elements in your mind, you know in what direction you want to direct your thoughts. Simply use adequate affirmations until your mind accepts what you are telling it. I am not worried. I am patient and will wait for further development. I have no reason to feel anxious. I do not feel anxious. I am well aware of all the reasons, and I will do something about it. I will get past this feeling. Those are simple examples, but it's always best to contextualize. Now, people often ask me if they should say it out loud. Why not? You can think of those affirmations and repeat them in your mind, but you can always say them out loud if you feel like thinking is not enough. This should take a maximum of 5 minutes, which is not a waste when it's self-care. Take the time to understand yourself, then take the time to correct yourself. There is nothing wrong with feeling anxious, as long as we do something about what is threatening us.